Hi, it's Megan.
And it's Bree.
And we just want to talk about TV.
Welcome to our podcast,
Unseriesous. Each episode, we're going to cover a TV show, new or old, and have a silly little conversation about it.
So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get unserious.
Big moment.
Oh no. Nobody could see me. I was screaming and I was jumping, but no one could see me. Why can't you see me? I don't know what you said.
1, 2,
No.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's a twin thing.
Wait,
We just say all the fuck.
should we be Luke and Noah?
Wait, hold on. We're on this one. Wait.
Add it to the list.
Should we be Luke and now? Okay.
Alrighty.
You'd have to. Whoever's Luke would have to grow like. Well, young Luke.
I was thinking old Luke.
Oh.
I don't think I could pull off being that hot, though.
I don't think you could pull off being that tall.
Well, I can get moon shoes.
Stilts. I could get moon shoes.
Like the springy shoes.
Okay. So,
Welcome to the pod.
welcome to the pod.
It's spooky month.
It's spooky season. And we are going to talk about Haunting of the Hill House, or it's Haunting of Hill House. I
The
always
Haunting of Hill
add
House.
the.
Me too.
And I can't stop.
The Haunting of Hill House.
There's no, yeah.
Honestly, I'm really glad you brought that up.
No.
That pisses me off.
It was driving me insane when I was typing the thing because I'm like, wait, there's no.
First order of business.
But yeah,
The
that's
the.
crazy.
Yeah. The the is in the wrong place.
The Haunting of Hill House.
They said drop the the. It's
Just
cleaner.
the.
Justin Timberlake.
But on that note, Megan,
What's up?
have you been watching, listening, reading, doing anything we should know about?
Not really. I was really thinking about this, and I'm unsure. I mean, by the time you're listening to this, it's October, and I haven't finished my Emily Henry reread journey. So I don't know about that one, but I have been reading Beach Read. I feel like I just need to finish it, then start some spooky books, and then maybe I'll reread the other two in November. I don't know.
Monday.
I just need to read 12 books before the end of the year. What books those end up being, who knows?
Who knows?
But so that hasn't been going well. And then in terms of TV, I've just been watching Dancing with the Stars this week and The Golden Bachelor.
That's what I was gonna say.
So that's been good. I brought it up to my mom, and she was like, doesn't The Golden Bachelor seem like it would be worse than The Bachelor because you don't want to see old people fighting? And I said, no, it's better because of that. Like, they aren't. Like, there are a couple of them that are a little starting to stir the pot, but not in the way that the stupid 25-year-olds do.
They're more mature, and
Exactly.
they know exactly what. At 20, you don't even freaking know what you want.
No.
That's why most of them don't work.
Yeah.
But, I mean, sometimes they work, but not.
Yeah.
Very rarely. And these old people know what's going on.
Exactly.
Not-
But it's also more emotional.
Yeah.
Because, like, so many of them have
If
been
they
through so
cry.
much in their lives.
yeah.
And when they cry, I cry.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's good. And it's only an hour. Like, I love that for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can handle
you get
that.
right through it.
Mhm.
They said, huh?
And then that's it.
And that's
I'm
been
trying to
well,
think
it's only
if
been
there-
a week.
If there is anything else I've consumed since the last time we spoke, but I don't think so. What about you, Bree? Besides The Golden Bachelor? or anything?
Yeah, The Golden Bachelor and Dancing with the Stars. I'm like ABC grandma time.
Yeah.
My shows come on.
I
eat
need
some
to
soup.
know. Oh my god, so when you used to drink sip and soup
Oh my god,
during
that
Dancing
was
with the Stars?
I should bring that back.
I think so.
I may throw up if I sip that soup.
You've had it too much.
I
it's fine.
sip that soup way too much.
That's so funny. Maybe if you tried a different flavor.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna try more sipping soup.
Yeah, or we can make our own soup
Yeah,
and watch Dancing with the Stars.
Great.
I think that sounds lovely.
that just sounds absolutely lovely.
But yeah, I'm wondering if Dancing with the Stars truly was rigged.
Yeah, that's drama.
That is drama.
I like
but
to believe it was.
I'd like to believe it was too.
Just because
Coco
that's
on
drama.
Dancing with the Stars thinks it's rigged, so I'm led to believe that it is. By the time this comes out, a second episode of Dancing with the Stars will have come out, so who knows where we'll be at. But even the first elimination was already hard, that I don't know where to go from there. Yeah, say something.
I freaking love Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
It brings out something in me.
What?
Fire.
It brings the heat.
It brings the heat. Like, the way people feel like football, about football, like, I feel like that's my Dancing with the Stars. And people are like, they aren't even stars. And I'm like, bitch.
Did you see Jason Mraz?
Bitch, there's stars on there. And the pros are
Those
stars,
are my stars
to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the stars I learn about throughout the season, and I become attached to them. And the fact that they can learn how to dance, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think I'm pissed. I've said this to you, pissed about Matt Walsh, because, like, I just loved his presence. Was he the best dancer? No, but, like, I already cared about him. I was already attached to him, and I lost in week 1.
Yeah, I think it was rigged.
Yeah,
I think Bruno did.
No, Bruno's if anyone in that room is innocent, it's Bruno.
It's Bruno. No, I don't know, but I didn't think he deserved to go home.
I don't think anyone deserves to go home night
ever.
1, to be honest. Or ever. It's going to get so much harder.
But yeah, I love Dancing with the Stars. I don't think I have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's all that really matters. Dancing with the Stars.
Real.
Okay.
Should we fucking get into it?
We should fucking get into
spooky.
it. I don't really want to.
Oh.
No, just it disappeared.
What? Your description?
I had it pulled up in my Chrome or whatever. Like,
oh, I thought you meant like you were in the Google Doc and you deleted.
I would have been like,
It's
I
just-
had to wing it.
You'd have to improv.
I get really nervous. I'd be like, and I would say, The Haunting of the Hill House.
Haunting of the Hill House.
The Haunting of the Hill House. I can't believe it's not that.
I know. Bly Manor works better though, because it's not the Bly Manor. That sounds awful. That makes it easier. But Hill House? Hill House.
The Hill House.
One Tree Hill House.
The One Tree Hill House.
Spoiler alert, sorry.
Spoiler. No, don't get into
Jump the
that.
gun.
Megan may start crying.
More on that later.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, don't look at me.
Okay.
The Haunting of the Hill House is a supernatural horror drama miniseries on Netflix created and directed by Mike Flanagan. The plot alternates between 2 timelines following 5 siblings whose experiences at Hill House continue to haunt them in the present day. In the summer of 1992, Hugh and Olivia Crane and their 5 children, Stephen, Shirley, Theo, Luke, and Nellie, moved into the Hill House to renovate it in order to sell and build their own dream home. However, due to unexpected repairs, they have to stay longer, and they begin to experience paranormal events, resulting in the tragic loss of Olivia and the family fleeing from the house. 26 years later, the Crane siblings and their estranged father reunite after another tragedy of losing Nellie, and they are forced to confront how their time in the Hill House affected each of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, but also fuck that.
Yeah.
You've already seen this show.
Yes.
I feel like that's always how we have to establish our
Our
history
with the
show. You watched this when it came out.
Yeah, was that 2018?
18. Yeah, that sounds right.
Ew.
Ew.
That was college.
Ew. 5 years ago.
Ew.
I refuse because I don't like scary shit. Like, I don't like feeling scared. I don't like things sitting with me where I feel like I can't walk from my room to the bathroom. Like, I don't like that. When I was younger, I saw Insidious, and I was in like, what, 2000? Oh, I don't even know. And I would stay at my grandparents' over the summer for some nights, like while my parents worked. And the room my sister and I stayed in was all the way down the hall from
a long hallway.
Yeah, it was like,
dark.
and you could see over the landing
Ew,
on
I
both
hate that.
sides.
Ew.
And I made my sister walk with me all the way down to the bathroom and stay in the bathroom and like face the wall while I peed.
Why?
Because I thought I saw like a face. You could see the kitchen from up there, and I was like, "There's someone in there."
Yeah.
Because I just don't like that. Like, it just like when I was younger, maybe, but like even like, you're always able to rationalize that that's not real, especially when it's like about demons or about like, not that that doesn't mean ghosts aren't real, but like some of it's just so out there that you know it couldn't happen to you, but it's still scary, and it still sits in your head that you feel like you're seeing someone there that isn't there. So I normally, long story short, don't like that shit. So this is the first time I saw it.
Yes.
And I was told I'd be scared,
shaking
but now,
in your boots.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say I wasn't. I was just fucking depressed.
Yeah.
That isn't to say that it wasn't scary. Maybe it's the like when you over expect something that it just like becomes less scary. Or I was trying to think about this, like, I don't know if it's just because I watch enough just content in general. We're not supposed to call movies and television content.
Okay,
Olivia Thompson said don't, because it makes it seem like Emma Thompson.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Emma.
Emma Thompson is a famous actor.
Yeah, I know who Emma Thompson is. I just didn't hear you, bitch. Emma Thompson?
She said it's rude because it's not content. Like, someone just makes it and, like, throws it away.
Okay.
It's, like, art.
Okay.
Is what she's saying.
But couldn't content be considered art to people?
Yeah, I think that's a whole thing.
Hold on, let's get into that.
That's our other podcast.
This is art? What the fuck?
This is art! Anyway, because I consume a lot of media and content and art,
because I'm a media.
It's easy to sense when shit's about to happen most of the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that helps, or because I'm older. I don't know what it is. I'm like trying to psychoanalyze myself, and like this, I don't understand why this didn't scare me more. I don't know. But like, instead of scaring me, it just made me so sad. And that's the scariest thing of all.
That's the scary, being really sad and looking at things that are tied into real events. That's the scariest shit of it all.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I covered I watched some with Ava, but it was the beginning when it wasn't that scary yet. Like, I feel like the beginning didn't really have like anything. They were just setting it up. But then I started watching, like, I'd watch it in, like, so our dorm room, we shared a room, and then I was in my bed. It was dark in there. I had headphones in, and I was, like, under the blanket on my little phone screen watching the show with, like, full, like, the volume, and I would cover my eyes most of the time, and most of the time nothing even happens. It's just, like, the darkness, the noise.
The suspense.
The intensity.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was really, like, I mean, rewatching it, I wasn't as scared this time at all. And I'm wondering, like, I don't know. But, yeah, it wasn't scary in a way that most traditional, like, scary movies are. It's just, like, it was so, like, they tied it into real life so much that it was, like, I mean, more fucked up than scary, but I don't know.
I feel like it was still spooky, and that isn't to say that it isn't a scary show. Like, it is. Like, it's such a good... I'd rather this than, like, just, like, nonsensical, like, jump scares or something that is really, like, demented and, like, fucked up just to be fucked up.
Just demons.
Like, Mike Flanagan is so good. Like, I've only seen this, and we're going to watch Bly Manor. I'm sure maybe that'll lead to watching some of his other shows, too. But he's so talented, but he needs to be, like, arrested because...
That's not where I thought that was going to go.
Like, he needs to be locked up.
Arrested.
For putting me through this shit.
I think...
And I'm so fucking for real. I'm being so fucking for real.
Just arrest him.
I need to
watch out, Mike.
Citizens arresting Mike Flanagan is actually what we're calling the podcast.
Oh my god. Don't take him away.
If we could make podcast titles really long, it'd be over.
Kate Siegel would be pissed.
I wanted to write.
And their kid.
Had to be done. You know what? Lock her up too.
Lock her
Enabler.
Oh my god.
Enabler of the fucked up shit. She's half of the cause of the fucked up shit.
Yeah, she's on the fucked up shit.
Yeah. I was trying to remember exactly. I should have been taking notes while we were watching it more. I was trying to write a list of every time this made me cry. But I really think it was just, like, Nell's death and then Luke finding out about Nell's. Like their 2 episodes fucked me up. The funeral, or I honestly, the episode before the funeral, like when they were all together again, I think that made me cry. And then obviously the finale made me cry.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
I was just crying.
the whole time.
I was like, I thought I was going to be scared.
Megan couldn't even see.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? What's happening?
No, but you have to tell them what you really cried about. Because that's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's on the list. It's Nell's episode, Luke's episode, pre-funeral finale, James Lafferty. That's it.
I can start crying over James Lafferty.
James Lafferty! Okay, I guess let's just talk about Shirley, but get out of the way, the James Lafferty of it all. James, I don't think I realized, I will obviously unpack this on a separate episode. I guess I didn't realize how much I love One Tree Hill until, like, James just
that moment.
Shirley's story, she's like, quote unquote, being haunted by this mysterious guy that you don't know anything about. You can kind of assume things. He's raising his little glass every other episode, and you don't know what really it is about until the finale, which is such a cool element. Yeah, because you're like, does it have to do with the house? Does it do with something else? And I always felt like it had to do, like, I always thought it had to do with her husband, and like, she did something. And so you see him a lot. Like, I knew he was there, but then they quote unquote flashback. It's like her memory. It's her nightmare of the moment where they actually see each other. And he's just started talking, and there were like tears in my eyes. And I was like,
he finally got some lines of it and started crying.
Overcome with joy and love
and
for him.
And he's a cheater.
And it was because it was Nathan Scott. And I think we'll just save
Nathan Scott's a cheater
for One Tree Hill, because I guess I just was just comforted by his presence. I was in a very low place watching this. In that moment, you don't know what's going on with Luke, which is a separate thing. And I just think I needed the comfort of Nathan Scott, 23, Nathan Scott, One Tree Hill, Hill House, Haunting of the One Tree Hill House. And that, I don't know, that's something to unpack on a separate episode. I don't know if we mentioned this. We want to do like an episode for every season or something like that for One Tree Hill. So like and subscribe. But yeah, you find out that although Shirley gets mad when she thinks that Theo and Kevin had like a moment.
Yeah.
She's really probably just...
She's
compartmentalizing
with
the fact
her
that
own shit that she's a cheater!
That's a cheater. I wrote down, cheating is okay when it's with Nathan Scott.
When it's with Nathan Scott.
I was really disappointed that they didn't make out. I wanted to see Esme and Nathan Scott make out, but I guess this wasn't the time or place.
Up by this drama.
It's like,
Shirley. Yeah.
Listen.
Was pretty fucked up.
It was fucked up.
But also,
do we blame her? Just kidding. Kevin's a good man.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad for Kevin.
I did feel bad for Kevin.
Yeah.
But the scene of them jumping to the end when she starts to tell him, and she's like, I need you to love me the most you've ever loved me in this moment, even though it's going to be the hardest that you've ever had to love me. Like, it's going to be hard to love me when I tell you this.
Yeah.
And like him holding, when you don't hear her at that point, like it fades away, her voice, but like you can tell she's admitting it, and he like holds her hand tighter. I was like, fuck.
And they're still together.
Yeah. She was going through some shit. Not that makes it okay, but she was in a dark place her entire life, so.
Yeah, she's angry. She was so angry.
Yeah.
But it's like interesting because everyone was going through like Nellie was seeing her dying her whole life. It's just like so
that's
fucked
insane.
Up. Like
no, we have to unpack that.
Yeah. I know. Like, but the fact that they're all like just because of the Hill House.
Yeah. No, they're just haunted. They're the haunting of the Crane family. No, that's insane. It's that and the fact that a lot of them, I feel like Nell and Luke were so young and so fucked up that they are the ones who obviously like went a little crazy in their own ways. But I think it's interesting that Shirley, Steven, and Theo help people. Like, Shirley became like a funeral director after her mom's funeral, or like owns a funeral home, but she like helps those families, or especially the kids, try to get over their grief because she knows what she experienced. Theo's literally a therapist. And then Steven, we have to unpack him. He's like anti-ghost and all that shit. Like, he's probably not the most like, isn't the warmest, but he still tries to help people like that are going through a loss by proving the fact that they're not being haunted, they're just
being
grieving.
haunted.
Which, who knows? We don't know.
They could be being haunted.
Yeah, which he learns later, but...
Yeah. But he's a non-believer. He's in denial.
He is in denial. Because his dad's a dirty little liar.
He's a gaslighter. Just like his dad.
Just like his daddy. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
That's what they were doing.
The dad gaslit them into thinking the mom wasn't... He gaslit them into thinking everything was fine. He gatekeeped the secret of the ghost, and he just girl bossed...
He girl bossed the entire time.
His entire life.
He couldn't help it. Not the dad. Okay, what do we start? There's so much I don't know how to start. Okay.
Nellie thinks she's seen the bent neck lady since she enters that home.
Yes.
They enter this fucking home to renovate, like you said. But the kids start seeing shit right away, especially the little ones. Nellie and Luke.
The twins.
The babies.
It's a twin thing.
And Nellie thinks she sees this woman, the bent neck lady, and they're like, ha ha ha, classic.
Classic
children.
little Nellie, classic.
And that's the craziest plot twist of my fucking life, is that it was older Nellie.
Yeah.
And she was somehow, like she kind of explains later, like time isn't linear. She was seeing like scattered memories of her future. Mm-hmm. And I thought that scene was so fucking cool when she's like dropping into different moments in her life, showing that like every single moment that you've already seen where she thinks she sees the bent neck lady was her. So good.
And that's like art.
That's art. That's not content, that's art.
Yeah. What else like... And then in the first episode, when she like Steven sees her and thinks she's alive, yeah. And then he gets a call from
chills
from you that she's dead. Like imagine that.
Yeah.
But also, how is Steven not believing? I just think he was going like...
He thinks that they all have a mental illness. Like, he thinks that they, like, are hallucinating or, like, having schizophrenia.
So he thought he was having that.
Yeah. And, like, I think also when you're going through something... Like, he just saw Luke. He's going through his own shit. Even before he knows what happened to Nellie, he was going through his own marriage shit. He probably literally thought he was just losing her.
Yeah.
And they also have they had that connection. They all woke up the moment that she died. So it's just like it's a family thing. Like, it's definitely a twin thing for her and Luke, but like they're also connected. He probably just wrote it off as like just those gut feelings you get.
Just a gut feeling.
But all of them are in denial too, because Shirley was like, that knocking, even after it became like every side of the house, you could see through the window that no one was there when there was knocking. She's like, it was just kids playing a prank. Like, a lot of them were in denial about it until the end, but Steven was really in denial about it.
Steven was really in denial.
I mean, I feel like Nellie and Luke make me the saddest, which I've already kind of alluded to, because you see them as so small and so sweet. But just Luke in general, his life makes me so sad because he clearly just can't handle what happened, and that spiraled into like addiction and mental health stuff, and that makes me so sad. I feel like anytime I see that kind of stuff, just because like obviously this happens in real life, but I just am fortunate enough to not know anyone in my life that deals with that, at least to that level that you see on TV, to the extremity. But I always care so much when you see a character go through an addiction problem. Like at that show Single Drunk Female, I care so much about her sobriety. Like, you care so much when they slip, and you know how hard that must be and things like that. So I feel like his storyline really just like tugged on my like heartstrings the most, just because of how hard he had it.
Yeah.
And that made it even worse. Because they were so close, but because he was already going through so much and wanted to like make Nellie proud, to like, he was just made 90 days sober in the present day timeline right when Nellie dies. And he probably also feels guilty that he couldn't, because every other person ignored her call because of whatever reason. Not to be me, like some of them maybe did it on purpose, some they were busy, whatever their reasons were, they didn't answer her call. Luke would have answered if he wasn't in rehab, and I feel like that's also what makes it fucked up.
And it's how they make the choice to make young Luke so small with glasses, and then he, like, older Luke is like this big guy, but like he's still like so gentle with everyone. Like I feel like that makes the whole like plot line like even more fucked up. Like I mean, just like the view of it, because he was like, you see that he was once like this little boy who's just scared of everything. That's what makes the whole thing so fucked up, is with like Nell and him specifically, but any of them, when you're like seeing them as adults, and it's easier to watch adults go through shit, but then when you immediately have a flashback to their younger selves, it's like, God, that's happening to them like in the future. But
they're the ones that eventually go through that and go through that in the time with their mom.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then, but you can also feel bad for, like, the other siblings dealing with Luke because, like, it is hard to believe. I don't know, like, trust is lost. Mm-hmm. So, but it also makes it frustrating because, like, they're not believing him. But that's how it's been since they were, like, I don't know, like, it's just like...
Oh, yeah. That's a fucking parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I care about him so much. Like, I was already crying at the end, but when you saw, like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. When you saw, like, the 2 on his cake, knowing he made it, like, 2 years.
2 years. And he was smiling so much. And then, like, I don't think I got this the first time watching it. Like, I don't know. Probably because I was barely watching it because of closing my eyes the whole time. But, like, when he was saying he was cold and, like, I thought he was going through withdrawal because that is withdrawal. But, like, it's the fact that Nell died. Like, he was feeling withdrawal because his twin sister died. Like, what the fuck?
I hate that. But it's also insane because I feel like they were clearly building up to that. Like, they spent an episode with Steven, with Shirley, with Theo, but they were building up to Luke finding out.
Yeah.
Because I knew that would hit the hardest. But it was interesting because I thought he'd, like, break down, but he immediately just knew. Because they were, like, trigger warning. Like, they think, like, the non-supernatural explanation of it is it looks like she killed herself.
Yeah.
But as soon as he hears that, he's like, no, she didn't. Because, like, he knows the tea.
They know the tea of the house.
He knows what was really going on.
That house fucked those little kids up.
It's nice that, like, he immediately knew. And that was also something I really liked is, like, you knew by the end of this they were all going to fucking, like, realize what was going on.
Yeah.
And that would vindicate Nellie and Luke and even the dad. Because the dad, they... like, our dad sucks, like, he's not telling us anything, blah, 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 and, like, he learned that he was really just doing all this to protect them and protect their mom and protect the Dudleys. Is that the last name?
So the whole time you're like, oh, this guy's annoying, but, like, then you feel for him.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he made the deal with Olivia and kind of probably himself, which is kind of really fucked up.
Insane. That was so chilling. Because, like, you knew when he was like, I'll make you a deal. Like, you need to let these kids out. It's like, you know that he's going to stay with her. Mm-hmm. But, like, the reveal of, like, when he walked out with them all. Yeah. And you see that Steven kind of looks to the side, but you don't know what it is. He walks out with them. He, like, says goodbye. He's like, I'll see you at the hospital. But then he takes Steven in. Yes. And he's, like, explaining it to him. And then it cuts to, like, him on the ground. But then, like, him standing, like, as a ghost instead. Like, so... well done. Like, so good. It's so sad.
No, literally. I like how they, not to jump the gun, but, like, I like the ending because I think it would have been, like, it could have been so easy to make it, like, completely sad, like, just, like, a really sad ending. Like, and that part was fucked up, but then you do get to see the other remaining siblings and family, like, they make it out and they, I don't know, it just, like, was so well done.
Yeah, I was gonna... It's like a fine line between, I think, like, I've seen a lot of things where we have to do, like, the blunt ending because it, like, means more. But there is something to be said about, like they did wrap it in a bow, which is nice. Like, I don't think you need to not do that. Because we were like, we're never going to wrap things in a bow. We're never going to give you the, like...
but we need answers.
Yeah, and, like, I think they did that. Like, they left it open in a way where it's, like, you... have questions. There's still, like, the fact that they lost their dad and their sister. Like, it isn't a completely happy ending.
The house is still alive. Like, it's still there. But,
like, they still... there's something about, like, a payoff at the end. Like, I watched this whole thing and I get to see their, like, living siblings have a happy ending. Yeah. I thought, like, when, like, Steven left, like, in the door shot, I was like, it's gonna end right there. Just dead. And then when they showed whoever was the next person they showed in the future, I don't remember exactly who it was, but I was like, thank God. Yeah. We're gonna get to see, like, where they go after this, because I was like, I need that, like, after suffering. Yeah. Oh my God, I could cry.
And then they really trick you with, like, the beginning of Steven and Lee, like, being, like, well, one, you're confused because she's pregnant, but two, they're like, Steven's dead, and Luke, is dead.
I was about to be so pissed.
No, literally, like, really, like
I was keeping it in, because part of me was like, I could tell that it wasn't what it seemed. Yeah. But I was like, and I was like, in a way, it is unique to, like, retell the events if Steven's actually writing them. Like, I was like, okay, I kind of see the lens. But I'm like, if you're already telling me that Luke's dead, I don't want to finish this episode. Like, maybe he could still die, and when you do think he's dead in the moment where they all, like, we lost him, I was like, oh, fuck, because I really wanted him to live. Like I said, I care so much about him in general. Like, I didn't want that ending for him. He was the one that deserved the happy ending above everyone else, in my opinion. So I was like, if he's dead, I'm going to be so mad. Yeah. And when like, you could clearly tell it was a figment of his imagination, a dream, a nightmare, whatever. I was like, let's fucking go. And like, and he wakes up in the room. I was like, yes. And when Luke, like, I like clapped. Like, I applauded when Luke like lived. And when Victoria Pedretti or Nell sent him back, I was like,
when Nell, I love that they had Nell send him, or
don't do it.
Pretty much wake everyone up and sing.
That's powerful.
That's fucking so powerful.
I think, and then Nellie them all getting to see her again, like,
getting a better ending. Yeah. Than what they
The rest did. Was confetti.
No, don't bring that up right now.
God. I love that. This being Victoria Pedretti's first role.
I know, that's what I was going to say. First role. Ate it up.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And then she's the lead in the next one. And it makes sense because she...
But it's insane that this and You, first thing she's ever done. And ate it up, left no crumbs.
Talent. That's talent.
That's insane.
All these actors are insane. Like, and they weren't nominated for any Emmys or anything.
That's insane.
Which is so insane. Like,
can we go back to, like, well, I guess it would maybe be the 2019 Emmys? What the fuck was nominated and was it even good enough?
Yeah, the fuck was going on? I was like, hold on, this existed.
Yeah.
And nothing from it? Nothing? Like, it's so good. It's like one of the best shows I've ever seen.
I think that's something they talk about with, like, Oscars, too, is horror films get left out a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can say that about comedy too. Like, it's like they always go for like the dark, depressing dramas or the biopics when it's about a real person, because it's really impressive when someone plays a real person. It's like, okay. And then where was Taron Egerton's Emmy? Anyway, or Oscar.
Everyone was snubbed. God. I was like,
wait, take a pause though, guys. We did it. The writer's strike.
Oh, yeah, we ended it.
Personally, ended by us. We had a seat at the table. No, but for real, so exciting. Thank God. Writers deserve payment. I don't know what will happen by the time this comes out, but the actors are about to go back to the negotiating table. So hell yeah, let's pay those actors, and then we can really get down to business and start talking about the Emmys, even though that'll be in January.
The podcast is saved.
Almost. We got renewed, guys.
My mom told me that.
Wait, what?
Well, she's like, oh, the writer's strike ended. You guys have something to talk about on your podcast. I said, so true, Mom.
She's such a stan of us. She's your biggest supporter. Gotta make sure we're paying the bills.
You gotta pay the bills. Yeah, we're paying the bills in these episodes.
This is number one job. Number one priority. But yeah, this deserves something.
Like anything.
Anything, because they're all so fucking good.
They won Best Show at MTV.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. And Victoria Pedretti won Best Scare or something. Bent neck lady scared the shit.
That was the scariest thing on the show was when she jumped out of the car.
That is like the...
Oh. And that's the way to do it. Like I said, I think there's a reason why I didn't get as scared.
Yeah.
Because it's like the music builds up to a scare sometimes. Maybe not every time, but like you can kind of tell in the moments, like the slowness of the movements or the sound of the score. Yeah. You can kind of tell something's about to happen a lot of times. Or something's just scary and it's not necessarily a jump. Like the guy in the hat.
That's the
scariest part of the show.
That's when
all he did, like you can sense him. He never had a jump moment. He always had a slow glide,
it's just so unnerving.
A slow turn, so unnerving, and like that's what's scary, like suspenseful. That's the stuff. It's creepy, and I really liked it, but I was very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
he made me feel unsafe. But the scariest thing was, when they're in the middle of a fight because you're not seeing that shit coming. They're like, I'm very invested in this argument between them. I need to know what Theo's gonna say. But I'm also like, Shirley, you know what? Go off. But then Nell comes out in the back and just screams. And it's like, shut the fuck up. And it's the scariest part of the show. Like, that's the only time I jumped. I was like, yes!
Yeah, that was so scary.
So good.
I think the only... Yeah, that was like the scariest jump scene. And then, the guy with the hat. And I think when they're dropping those buttons, I don't know, there was a lot of stuff like this, but just the voice, I don't know, that really creeped me out. I think that scarred me because, and just the grandma, that scarred me because I did not like to see that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're in the house at night, you can pretty much figure there's gonna be something. I don't know. But
then that moment in the car led to one of the best scenes in the show, like the Theo monologue.
Where's her fucking Emmy? That scene, I was holding my breath the whole time.
Yeah.
Her acting,
so good.
Like chilling to the bone. Like every time she did one of those monologues, it's just like amazing.
But that was like next level.
Next level. And you could like feel
Theo's character
such a
in general, like the hand thing is one of my favorite elements of the show because you're like, why is she wearing those fucking gloves?
Yeah, I'm like,
and
what
it is, and they never really explain like where it came from. They kind of allude to the fact that like her and the mom have some sort of like connection to like otherworldly things, but that's never explored. Like if it's a family
they're just like
thing.
They're very sensitive. I'm like, okay, what does
like,
that mean?
I don't think it has to do with the house because like the mom's like, well, I've always been like this too. It's like, huh? Yeah. Are we gonna unpack that?
And she's had it like she has it outside. Like she's just always had it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, because I mean, it has to be some kind of supernatural. Because like,
yeah,
she can feel everything, which is such a.
Either way, fucking love that. Like, it's such a cool part of the show. Like the way she solved that little crime.
Yeah, as a
that foster home.
That's a badass skill to have.
Yeah, and there was also it was fucked up, but it was cool that she like sent that man to prison. Thank God.
But then she was fucking going through it because she felt everything from that and like.
Well, that and then like you hear her freak out when she feels Nell. And you're like, oh my God, what did she see? And you don't know until that monologue. And she's like, I felt nothing. And then after that, I couldn't feel a thing. And that's like obviously what happened with Kevin. And she was just trying to grasp onto something. And she's like, I couldn't see him, but I just wanted to feel something. Yeah. Oh my God, like I have chills just thinking about it. That's like great writing, great acting, great direct, like fucking.
And that's like the scariest thing I think for anyone to like feel absolutely nothing. Like yeah, the fact that she was feeling that and from touching her sister when in the past she touched her and like if she touched anyone, she just felt like everything. I don't know. And feeling nothing because she's gone.
Well, it's just also scary because she's like, well, I guess that's what death feels like, just nothingness. And it's like,
and that's what I was like,
don't love that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that scene was amazing.
So fucking good. Yeah, and then my man Steve, my author.
I was like, who are we forgetting?
Let's get your checks, Steve. Who cares? Get that money, honey. Get that coin, King. Do what you gotta fucking do. Cope how you gotta fucking cope. No, Steve didn't do anything.
No, Steve never did anything wrong in his
my Shane Bidet.
Gaslight.
Shane Bidet, you slid. Steven pissed me off sometimes, a lot of the time. But then, like, I did feel for him. I don't know. It was just, not that it validates anything, but it was just his way of coping. Yeah. And I think that's, like the 5 siblings all cope such different ways and have very different, like, they're different personalities. And I think that's such a interesting part of the show. Like, we get to see all those different ways of coping. And he just definitely had a more hard, like, what's the word? I don't know. He compartmentalized more. And just pushed it away. Denial. Yeah. Or so, like. But, like, what must be so fucked up about Steven is, like, his, what's the word I'm looking for? Responsibility. Like, he feels the responsibility over them as the oldest. He's like, he tells that to Luke when he's younger. He's like, I'm your brother. I'm not going to let anything happen to any one of you guys. Yeah. And, like... and you go... It's like, oh, God. Well, that didn't work out very well. But, yeah, no, I do feel for him. Because, like, he's only going with the information he's given. Like, he clearly turns around when he learns the truth. And he's pissed at his dad. He's like, well, why don't you tell me? This would have changed everything. And we obviously know why the dad didn't tell him. But, like... Yeah, it is frustrating, especially like him and Shirley like have the least, like you said, belief in Luke. But it's also like, yeah, when you've been fucked over like that, it's hard to have trust and stuff like that.
And they're the older siblings.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They gotta do what they gotta do.
And then the part where he does the dresser and then Olivia, the mom.
He paints her the little like dresser and she's, I love it. Breaks the mirror. I was like, but then that reveal though, when like you see it from her POV and like in the mirror she saw older Luke and Nellie, like, chilling.
But just the like immediate like,
it's so funny.
And then he's like, bro, I just so did that.
You just told me like that. What am I supposed to do with that? Yeah, what the fuck? I'm looking at my notes since we've been going on and on and on, and we can go on and on and on.
The Dudleys.
Their
whole things, everything's fucked up.
Why didn't they just leave though?
Because, listen.
Like before the Hills or the Cranes even got there.
I don't know. Is it because of the baby?
I don't know. I don't think they know that because we don't. I don't think you can see the baby.
I don't know, but because they did see the baby at the end. They were holding the baby and they were with the kid, but I don't know. But that whole thing's freaking. It's
so crazy.
Like, and then you think that monologue.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
And so what I noted, I didn't write that down, but I remember like they never cut away from him. Like it's just all in one shot because you can hear like Hugh responding to him, but they never cut back to him. He just goes and goes and goes, and that's just fucking chilling. It's like this house is fucked up. Sometimes you just need to get the fuck out.
They all just needed.
We lost our daughter. I can't believe. But yeah, you think that their daughter Abigail. Well, you know that Luke has a quote unquote imaginary friend, which you're assuming is a ghost the whole time until you see her, and then they can see her. And you're like, oh, they all can just see the ghost now. But then she dies, rat poison. Yeah, gets you every time.
The tea party. The rat poison tea party.
Nellie only just wanted a fucking tea party. Yeah, that's fucked. And then the ending where like the reason why they keep the house, like the dad keeps the house and doesn't tell anything to anyone is so that they can visit their daughter, and he knows that his wife is there too. Mm-hmm. But like that ending scene where they're fucking old as hell, and the Mr. Dudley makes sure Mrs. Dudley dies there so she can live forever with their kid. So we made it. I hate. I'm like, show. I was like, I get
headache from how bugged up it is.
Like I said, lock him up. Mike Flanagan, lock him up.
Lock him up.
But so good.
But like literally, they connected everything just so well. Like it was perfectly. Jesus. And on top of that, they have hidden ghosts.
Guys, I got one. I tried really hard. I would see after every episode when I marked it on TV Time where the ghosts were. I was like, didn't see that. And it's so hard to pay attention because it's a credit to the show. I'm too busy paying attention to the plot and the dialogue to look in the background. But I did get one. I wrote it down. I think it was episode 7. Maybe 8 when they're in the basement because of the mold and shit. Yeah. There's like a woman with really long white hair behind the dad. And I was like, I got her. Guys, we got him.
That was your goal to get one.
I got one and I can be happy. Are there hidden ghosts in Bly Manor?
I think so. Okay. But yeah, I've never looked for them because I'm always just too... The dialogue's happening.
And I'm like, oh, right.
There's some of them are ghosts. So I'm like, how did you find that? Like when people point them out.
And that makes it scarier.
Yeah.
But they're like little and
they're like little and you can barely see.
Fuck them.
Fuck Mike.
I feel like we could just probably get into...
To talk about the epic highs and lows. I'm like going to sing this song during this traumatizing. Yeah. I'm traumatized. Yeah. Okay. Who is your favorite character?
Luke. Yeah. I was like, let me lock him in. Probably if I picked a second, Nellie.
Okay.
Or Theo, but like, I know my heart was Luke because I felt so sad every time he did anything. No matter how old he was, I was like, my dude, stay with me.
Stay with me, Luke.
Luke. When they gave him his hat, he's like, we finally get to have the big boy hat.
Barely fit him.
Shut the fuck up. Olivia.
I said Theo and Nellie.
Yeah.
And then Luke would probably be my third.
The big three.
Yeah. Those.
I'm realizing I wrote least favorite character and it's blank because I forgot. Like, I was trying to figure out who my least would be.
I wrote the Hill House.
That's good because it's real.
Because like
it's fucking Monster House. I haven't said that yet.
Yeah.
It's Monster House. They're like, the house has a stomach
has
and
a
a heart.
heart.
And I'm like, where's the uvula, bitch?
It's just Monster House. Don't worry, y'all.
Don't worry, guys.
It's just Victoria Jetty Monster House.
Exactly. Same thing.
Okay, favorite scene or episode?
I wrote a list.
Ooh.
I think my favorite like episode as a whole was the episode when they all show up at the funeral home and 90% of it's in one take.
The two storms?
Yes. Chef's fucking kiss.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then the finale, just because you finally get all the pieces come together. You see like, you get all the answers of like, what was James Lafferty doing? What was like, what was happening here or there? And then like, then you get to see them all happy. Like Theo like gets her own place with her girlfriend. You find out later she's married. Luke hits 2 years. Stephen reconciles with his wife. Shirley with her husband. Like everything just like it was so satisfying. Every single fucking way was so satisfying. And then the card that we already talked about, the car scare, and then Theo's monologue was a favorite scene, and then Nell's wedding as a whole. I love like Stephen and Nell. Like that was so sweet. Like you actually get to see like Stephen be like happy.
Yeah.
And then also when like Shirley's looking at Theo and the girl she's with.
Yes.
So fucking. Oh, I didn't write this down, but did you just punch me in the boob?
Did you just punch me in the boob?
Yes.
I wrote that down too.
So good.
Yes. I said like about the same things. I said that I also really liked the bent neck lady episode. I don't know.
Yeah.
That episode as a whole I feel like was just really good.
Yeah, that's good.
I said the wedding when they're all happy, like you did. Like they're just all smiling and having a good time until they're not.
We didn't even talk about fucking. We don't need to go into it, but Nell's husband. That's fucked up.
That's on my least. That's on my least favorite.
That's a good one.
Him dying randomly, and then I also my favorite. I like the ending. Like I think they did it well.
Yeah.
There's ways that could have ended so not like satisfying. And
I was scared.
Good.
That was the scariest thing was
seeing
the
the
end. I'm like,
ending.
is this gonna piss me off? I was really pissed when I thought like the Stephen and his wife scene was real. I was like, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding?
This is not how I wanted to find out, and I didn't want Luke to be dead at all.
Yeah. And then least favorite.
Anything with a hat man, even though I can respect it.
Yeah, you said I feel. Where's the hat man? I feel unsafe.
It was like good, like in a way where it was like
comforting.
It was like not comfort, like I liked the unsettlingness of it. I was like, yes,
he's like,
fuck yeah. It's like we were talking about in the Last of Us episode, like the POV shot, and you're seeing the plane crash, and you're like, this is a nightmare. Like this is like so disturbing, but it's so good. And that's how I felt about the hat man. It's like so creepy. But, like, I like it. Like, it was, like, unsettling in, like, a satisfying way.
Yeah. He's just floating around. He hears a noise. He turns around.
Yeah.
Like,
and I didn't like when Luke was all cold and sad, like we talked about.
Yeah.
And when, like, he was going through any of his, like, drug shit. I hated that. Like, when he was entering, when he was like, Nell, just go get me some drugs.
Yeah.
Which I was like, I don't know about that one.
That's on my least favorite.
She was like, I asked him for a little thing.
And Nell's just so, like, little and, like...
Okay. That's why I kept saying she's so small.
And
they're all so small.
Yeah. She just wants the best for, like, everyone.
Yeah. Well, fuck that. And then I think, what'd you say? Like, the husband's death? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Me processing this.
Yeah.
The cat scene.
Thank you. Yeah, fuck that. When she thinks it's, like, alive still, but it's just a spider crawling out of his mouth?
Yeah.
That made it worse.
I don't like that.
Fuck that.
Nelly buying drugs for anyone being mean to Nelly.
Yeah. Yeah, the fight, her and Theo's fight.
Yeah.
And when she confronted Steven.
Yeah.
Sad face.
I can't believe they show, like, I mean, I can't believe this, but they show, like, she's dead in the first episode. Like, it just didn't feel that way. Like, I don't know. Watching it all, it didn't feel like she died in the first episode, or you show.
Yeah.
But she did.
Yeah.
Walking out.
I think, the funeral, when she's, like, they're throwing the dirt, and then the mom tries to pull Luke in. Mm-hmm. That sucked.
And then Steven gaslights him.
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Forever.
Forever and always. Always and forever.
Shut the
If you
One Tree Hill House.
They should collab.
I
don't know.
I think that's what happened.
On a scale of unserious to serious, what do you think?
Well, 10
is
unserious.
Yeah. And
I never
say
felt
10.
more confident in mine. Like, I feel good about this. I said 2.
Oh,
maybe 1.5.
Yeah. I'm like on the, I think 1.5.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I just know, like,
so...
it's a little less serious to me than The Last of Us.
Okay.
Just because that was our one.
Yeah.
And just because this is... The Last of Us is... I mean, with the zombies, I guess it's a little detached from reality. But that just felt so... Like, 'cause it's so life and death on that show, and morality. And this is just ghosts. And the Hat Man really pulls me to it, too.
The Hat Man. I'd say 1.5.
Okay.
Because I feel like even though it is ghosts, it's also like, I don't know. Because they are trying to connect it to like real life. And I think, like, I don't know how to explain it.
No, I get what you mean.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. The Hat Man kind of pulls us back. Some of those ghosts are very unserious. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just felt physically ill the whole time. But it's fine.
But I'm fine.
But I'm actually really fine.
Not traumatized.
I'm not traumatized.
Mike Flanagan will be sending my therapy bills.
Hold on. Would you recommend it to
No.
your close personal
Save yourself.
friends?
No, I would, and it's interesting because I would say, like, even if you're scared, I mean, obviously, like, you have to make your own choices for your own mental
You have to
health.
make your own choices.
It is very serious, and it is very deep at times, and
as hell.
it's spooky as hell. But I would say, like, if you're tentative because you don't like scary things, if that's what's holding you back, give it a try, because it wasn't, it's like, I'm like, it wasn't scary, this sucked, but like, it was definitely scary, but it didn't scare me the way I thought it would. I was able to sleep at night.
Yeah. If you don't want to be scared, watch it. If you're mentally ill, don't watch it.
Yeah.
If
Amen.
you feel, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend, like, I guess this is a show I know people, like, I wouldn't recommend it to.
Yeah. It's like, you got to protect your peace.
Yeah, protect your peace.
It's a you decision.
It really is on yourself.
Yeah. And if you regret it, that's on you.
That's on God.
We can't be responsible for the mental illness this causes.
The mental illness.
But I can blame Mike
Trauma.
Flanagan and I can blame Brie.
But yeah, you could.
I was like, Brie, why are we doing this?
You said, what is this?
I said, I was going to be scared, not traumatized. I was going to be traumatized because it's spooky, not because it's sad. There's one more thing I wanted to say.
Okay.
I forgot to say that I thought it was funny when Luke and the dad waved to the girlfriend at the funeral, because I wrote that down. And when the dad is explaining the stuff to Steven, and it cuts to Steven, and when it cuts back to the dad, he's younger.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
So simple.
It's
So like, I could cry again.
Oh my God.
And then, like, you could see when it, like at one point it cuts back and you can, like, the light comes in and you can see Nell and Olivia, like, throw myself off the balcony of the spiral staircase.
Literally. All the choices and everything are insane. Like, the transitions, just everything is insane. Like,
oh yeah, I love those transitions where
Yeah.
it's like, it's either the dialogue or like the movement.
Mm-hmm.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. And they do it
I'm a
so
slut for that kind of
well.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I think we should watch it again.
Maybe next year.
I kind of miss them.
Shut the fuck
Look
up.
at them when your circle's small, but you're crazy.
Okay.
Okay, time to. Oh, Megan has to sing. We have to be more. This will be more like.
Yeah, we gotta start laughing again. So it's time for our final segment, game night with Megan and Bree. So we were at Target and we saw the best of madlibs, and we were like, "Oh, that's fun."
That's fun.
Then we flipped to a random thing, and it was like haunted house or something. Hold on, I can pull that one up. It's gonna be hard
didn't
with
you
one
flip
hand.
and that was the one you flipped to?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
And I was like, "We're buying it."
You're like, wow.
Immediately added to cart
I said that
in person. I can't find the exact one.
There is one more thing I wanted to say.
Okay, say it.
Someone pointed this out on TV Time. I don't know if it's true, but they said each Crane kid represents one stage of grief. So in order, Steve would be denial, Shirley would be anger, Theo would be bargaining, Luke would be depression, and Nellie would be acceptance. Isn't that?
That's fucked up.
I know. I said,
but like it makes sense.
I'm
full body chills.
So much sense.
That's crazy.
And the order how they were born, fucked up.
That's insane.
I don't know if that was a really.
Literally lock Mike Flanagan up. I've said it once. I'll say it again.
I'll call him up.
Wasn't there one? Was it Haunted House or Horror Movie? Was it Horror Movie?
I think Haunted House.
Okay, because that's not one of the ones I bookmarked.
Oh.
So I'm like, did I make that up?
You imagined it. We both imagined it.
I feel like we gotta definitely do that one. There's just so many in here.
Yeah, that's a thick book. We can do madlibs for days.
Yeah. Stick around. But I have like a horror picture one, I have a spooky thing, I have a spooky slimy one.
Ooh.
So we can do like 2, I think. Maybe. We'll see how long it takes us to do one. We just gotta go for it. Interview with a TV hunk.
Yep, that's what we should do.
We gotta keep that in the back pocket for, I don't know.
The back pocket.
Karma is the guy on the screen. Come straight home to me. Spooky stuff, that's what I've got. My god, I'm not even through like half of this. I don't know, I think we should just go. If we find like the haunted one, worst we could do is do it on Bly Manor or something. But I think like the horror movie one or whatever it was would be good, and then we could pick another one depending on how much time we have. Okay.
Yeah.
A scene from a horror picture. Okay, I'm gonna cheat and just write within the thing to save us some time. Okay. Oh, this is like a script.
A script?
Yeah, it's like boy,
Oh.
girl. I'll read it though. I'll do voices. Okay.
I'll do some voices.
Okay, but the T is it's like person in room, male. There are 3 women in this room.
That's really offensive.
Should we do?
We should do one of them.
Luke.
We should keep it themed.
Yeah, you're right. Oh no, my pen, my gel pen.
There are 3 women in this room. I mean, the fact that Maisel's just.
I looked at Maisel. She said, "What?"
She said,
"Hold on, my pen is broken."
This is really awkward.
That didn't work. Okay. Adjective.
Just anyone.
Yeah, any old adjective.
Stunning.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Stooning.
Stunning. A holiday.
Valentine's Day.
A noun.
This is so much pressure.
Well, just whatever comes to noun. This one's plural noun. Beauty. Okay. I guess beauty is a thing.
I don't know.
A plural noun.
Plural noun.
Candles.
Thank you.
Or a noun.
Words.
A person, place, or thing.
I know. I don't know. Cat.
Okay. Part of the body.
The ankle.
Nice. Good one. Good one. School subject.
PE.
Okay. A noun. You're gonna need 2 more nouns.
McDonald's.
Okay.
To get McDonald's.
Another noun and an adjective, and then we're done.
Gucci slides.
I'm gonna do one singular Gucci slide, and then an adjective.
No. Angry.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Scene
What's
from a
my
horror
beautiful
picture.
Story.
Okay, I'm gonna do voices.
Okay.
Oh, Luke. Why did we have to come to this stunning old castle?
Ooh, that was a good one.
All the hotels were closed because of Valentine's Day. Just look at that sign. It says, "The Howard Dracula Holiday Beauty." Here comes the bellboy for our candles. My, he is bent over and has a big cat riding on his ankle.
What?
I don't think he is my old PE teacher from... Oh, we didn't put a school. Columbia College,
Columbia
Chicago.
College, Chicago.
Oh, I think he's my old PE teacher from Columbia College, Chicago. Watch out! He's throwing a McDonald's over your head. No, he's just being angry. Now, he's dragging you toward a bottomless Gucci slide. I was right. It is my old teacher. Help! I'm so mad at me.
It's so funny.
Okay, we have to do another.
Stunning was good.
Stunning was a great.
Stunning
I did good.
fit in perfectly.
Yeah, you did good. There. Do we want to do?
I can't believe the haunted one's gone.
I know.
I swear you opened it to that.
I guess it was the horror one.
But there are a lot in there. But
Do you want to do a spooky, scary, slimy story or afraid of the dark?
afraid of the dark.
So I was just writing directly on here, which
Okay.
you're not supposed to do, but it saves us time.
You aren't. You're gonna have to teach me madlib. You're not supposed to do.
Well, you're supposed to write it so you don't see the story and then put it in, but that'll take more time. So you just need to read what it's under
Okay.
and fill it out, but just try not to read the story beforehand.
Okay. Plural noun.
Plural noun. Clarinets.
So true. Verb ending in ing.
Juggling.
Okay. Okay. Noun. Looks around, blinks.
Blanket.
Another noun.
Another noun. I keep thinking of musical instruments. I'm like, I already did clarinet.
You're trying to make a story in your head, but you're not supposed to.
Yeah. I don't want them to connect. I want them to be different. A pogo stick.
Pogo stick! I haven't heard that in a while.
I know. I don't know where it came from.
Pogo stick. Beanbag.
Damn.
Plural noun.
Beanbags.
Beanbag. Part of the body.
Uvula.
Ew. But topical. How do you even spell that?
Uvula.
Okay.
Uvula.
Noun.
A lot of fucking nouns. I want more. Like an adverb.
Nah. Noun. Nah.
Button. Like, how do I make this about Hill House without making this about Hill House?
A verb ending in ing.
Haunting.
Ooh, wow.
Ooh, wow.
I feel like I'm your therapist.
Interesting. How does that make you feel?
Oh, interesting. Part of the body, plural.
Ribs.
Ew. Ew. Verb ending in ing.
Choking.
This is getting a little out of control. Noun.
Compass.
Compass.
It's gonna be so random, I know it.
Compass. Noun.
So many of those. Window.
Window. Part of the body.
Oh my god, whoa, this is gonna be crazy.
I know, I'm like, what's happening? I'm not even reading it yet.
I'm like, how many parts of the bodies have I given? I know I'm overthinking this. There's so many parts. Scalp.
Ew. God. You'll like this one. Adverb.
Oh, fuck yeah. Slyly. Slyly.
Okay. How do I spell that?
Slyly. Slyly.
I don't really use that word.
I know. I'm trying to pull.
I realize it.
This is pretty slyly.
Slyly. Part of the body, plural.
Toes.
Ew. Why are you picking the worst?
Toes is so innocent compared to what I've said so far.
Half of these.
Scalp is creepy. I'll give you
Scalp
that.
is
But toes is so
creepy.
normal. I know you just don't like feet.
Ew. I do not like feet. Okay. Let's see what you.
Okay. Wait. What's it called again?
Afraid of the dark.
Nice.
I was home alone and scared out of my clarinets. I could hear the wind juggling, and off in the distance, a blanket was howling. Huh? I crossed the room, locked the pogo stick, and climbed into bed, pulling the bean bags over my uvula. The fuck? Then it happened. I could hear a button haunting up the stairs.
So true.
Ooh, that's creepy. My ribs started to chatter. My ribs hurt.
I'm picturing them like xylophones.
And my knees began choking. The compass was thrust open, and there was a huge window with hair all over his scalp. The window had a scalp.
The house is alive.
This is pretty fitting. It was my father. Hi, we're home, he said slyly. So it'd be like, oh, hi, we're home.
Father's upset.
Hope you weren't afraid of staying home alone. No, I said, lying through my toes.
Ew.
Yeah, madlibs is weird.
This is kind of weird.
I was home and scared out of my clarinets.
That really scared me out of my clarinet when Nell jumped through the car.
That scared me out of my clarinet.
So true.
Wow.
It was game time.
Was that game time?
Yeah.
With Megan and...
Bree.
Well, on that note...
That's it.
What are we doing next week?
Only murders in the building.
Yeah.
Which of the Pickwick triplets did it?
Which of the...
So
wait,
get
I have
ready.
something to say.
Oh, you have something to say?
And the rest was confetti.
Oh my... Oh my god, rip to people using headphones and rip to me because what the fuck? That was pretty good. I'll give you that, but there are tears pricking the back of my eye.
And the rest is confetti.
Fuck that. Oh my god.
That was pretty creative.
I'm never talking to you.
It's Taylor Swift.
Anyway, I'm not traumatized. We shouldn't lock Mike Flanagan up, I guess. I guess he's kind of talented.
Free Mike Flanagan.
Pay the writers, and they did, baby.
Yeah, they did.
More to come.
More to come.
All right, well, that's enough of this. Later, losers. Sorry.
Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Remember to rate, follow, and share with friends.
And find us on TikTok and Instagram at unseriesous to see more content and find out what we're watching next.
We hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye!